Are we on?
We are live.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It looks like our we're hoping our system is good today. Greg, can you move this one over a little bit to your left? You can see
Hello,
more.
everyone.
Whoops.
And welcome. It looks like our
We're getting us situated here. We also are waiting for a guest. I'm going to move it this way so you can see him more. Nothing. Here, put him about here, bud. There you go. So we have 7 viewers, and we're like in our own.
Oh, whoops. I just declined by mistake. I didn't realize that was.
I think it was going through our phone, though. It shouldn't be going through our phone.
Yeah.
So you got on. Say hello, everyone, while we're getting all this situated.
Oh, I did say hello. Hello, everyone.
Well, but
sorry for the technical difficulty. Oh, okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
You're on our phone. You're not on our Hangout.
We're on the Hangout on the computer. And I'm going sideways. I don't know if you can switch to it or...
You might have to disconnect.
Yeah, I can disconnect, Jim, if you want to try on the computer.
You're saying I need to be on the computer.
We are, yeah.
Because we're using the webcam.
So I think you're under, are you under D&G Explorers?
For
I
what?
believe so.
Jim, we're gonna send you the give us about 2 minutes and come back in. I'm gonna have Greg disconnect from D&G because it's sending it to the phone, not to the computer, which what we want.
All right.
And that way you can see. Everyone's probably like thinking, what the heck is going on? Scout, what are you doing?
Sorry for the technical difficulties,
Hi
everybody.
guys, this is live TV. Wow, we don't normally do this.
Really?
Are you under D&G?
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't disconnect yet. Let me get. Okay.
Hey, Blaine, 2007, Raphael Zangano, Bob and Ashley, Steve's World, RobFuz. Thank you, RobFuz, for posting on your website about this tonight. So this is live. This is what happens with live. So
I'm going to pull up something real quick. Just keep chatting for them.
Oh, let's see here. So yeah, we're trying to get Jim connected to the actual computer that we're using here. So sorry for any inconvenience that we're having here. Julie and Jordan, thanks for coming on here. Computer that we're using here.
All right, so now disconnect from yours, Greg, since we can see what's going on here.
Okay.
And we're hoping Jim will now join us.
I'll just go to my name. Actually, I probably don't need to do that. I'm disconnected.
Okay. So how is everyone doing today? Sorry, as
but
we get a little adjusted.
Comments.
Yeah, I'll get it fixed up here for you.
And now we're very blurry.
Yeah, it's our internet connection. Internet has been very slow. Here we go. That's what we want.
Well, if it doesn't work, we can just switch over to the phone real quick. I don't know what Derek's doing, but he's trying to fix something. And I can't see any comments, so I don't know if anyone's talking. I'm sorry.
Hi, guys. Happy Wednesday. I guess this is what happens when you work until 5 o'clock and you're in a rush to get here.
I thought we should have tried it at 6:15, but
maybe next week. Good day, Laurel. Hey, we got a little Lazoral here. 2 Australians on board.
Thanks for coming on here.
All right, I'm going to send another request to.
I can't see any comments. Let me just try to go on.
Go under your own one.
I don't think that really would matter though, because I
because
was under mine last time and it worked.
But you're under D&G, so its messages going to that. So okay. All right, guys. Jim's More Sunshine Please is on there. Jim, we're going to try to get you back on here. And so, Greg, keep talking. I'm going to have you
wearing your shirts here.
I'm going to have you be the entertainer, Greg, while I.
Yeah. Well, I can't see comments, so I don't know what's going on.
Log in under your name, bud.
That means I have to subscribe to myself, which I haven't done. Why? Okay.
All right, we'll get this going. Ekdev is here. Hello, Aaron. How are you? All right, Jim, I'm going to try to get you back on right now. I'm going to send it to... But, Greg, while I'm doing this, go ahead and chat.
I can't see anything yet, Derek. I'm sorry.
All right, guys. So apologize about the delay. We'll just go a little bit about news, what's going on this week. Jim, we're going to have you come on board. Does Greg sing? Yes, he tap dances. He does a great Cher impersonation.
Oh my God.
And then we'll get going on for a little bit. So some of the fun things which are...
Now I can see everything.
Some of the things which are coming up, which are pretty exciting, is
the
Mickey Mouse show that came on. So Greg, while we were talking, the 90th celebration that was just on.
Oh yeah, the one that we didn't finish watching.
No.
We watched some of it, and from what we saw, it was a good show. I don't know if everybody saw it. It was on ABC on Sunday, so we do plan to finish it. We've just been busy with work and everything. So, but there's a group that I'm following on Facebook where they're posting 3 pictures of Mickey every single day throughout November, so it equals the 90th amount, basically for the 90th birthday or anniversary of Mickey Mouse. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like doing countdowns, but I only do them for the holidays normally, so that's a little much. I think 3 a day, but more power to them.
That is a lot.
Ekdev saw a bit. Their signal was glitchy.
Guess who joined us? He's laying on the side of his head.
What? Hang on. I'll fix that.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, guys.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh, no. Hey. There you are.
All right.
Now he's right side up.
Woo!
All right, guys. Welcome. Well, that was fun. Maybe I'll start doing it at 6:15.
Dilly dilly.
Comments. Dilly dilly. What was that?
This is a plastic stein from Animal Kingdom. I don't know, we got it years ago. But you guys always have a drink. I thought I'd join in today. It's cool. I don't. It's from that restaurant over by Dinosaur. I can't remember the name of it, but I always thought this was a cool little goblet, stein, whatever. So we bought one a few years ago, and then we saw these on sale at the Character Warehouse. So we got a second one for half the price or whatever. So
that's really cool. I've never seen that before.
Thanks.
So, guys, joining us today is Jim from More Sunshine Please. He is our support channel, and he's an awesome guy. So really what a support channel means to us is we're helping each other grow. He's a great guy, and we've got in contact with his channel, and we've just been tossing a lot of ideas. One of the things we want to do is help other small channels like us grow. RobFuz, who's on here, I'm not sure if Alpha Traveler 1, Kenny, if he's come on today, but the whole point is for us to help small channels grow. We want to be in that mold. RobFuz and Kenny do Drop That Rope as one of their side channels. They've both been a huge supporter for us. And really that's what Jim and I and Greg are just trying to do. We're trying to show that love back and help other YouTubers and just grow the community on that. So Jim is here today, And as you'll see him quite a bit with us. We've already done a few different collaborations, and we're happy to have it today, which is the RobFuz Megatag Top 10 Disney Movies. So that's going to be the focus today. We're only going to be on for until about 7, because I know it's really late for you guys out there. Unfortunately, because of my work, we have to go back a little bit later than what we want to do. But for a couple months, it'll be at this time slot. One last thing, which is news, which I thought is pretty awesome. Disney, we don't know if it's going to be confirmed yet. Disney, Greg was telling me yesterday that
I think it is confirmed.
Is it
It was on a video.
the Runaway Mickey ride from that they're putting in at the Grumman's Theater at
Hollywood Studios.
Thank you, Hollywood Studios
Will also be
in Disneyland
here.
So I don't know if you guys
Don't
heard
know how
about
I
that.
feel about that.
Yeah, I actually like it when the park rides stay separate. So like Cars Land, I hope it never goes to Florida, because when we travel to Florida, I don't want to see Cars Land. So I don't know if I'm really happy about it coming over here, because I think it should be unique and stay in Florida. But the one cool thing about it is going into Mickey's Toontown, and they're not getting rid of anything.
Well, no, they are getting rid of the shop. I forget the name of the shop.
No attractions.
No, but the shop where the shop is, they're getting rid of that because that's the entrance where you go into that area. So we thought they were going to get rid of the Roger Rabbit area, but they're not. So that's pretty cool that they're keeping that, because that Toontown doesn't really have hardly any rides. So at least they'll have 3 rides now.
Yeah, so Gadgets Coaster's staying, and so in that case, I think it'll be a fun addition, although they're saying it's going to be an exact replica of the one in Walt Disney World. So I'm a little disappointed about that.
RobFuz, it was hard for me to make a list of just 10. I was going to have honorable mentions, but we'd be here all night. So we have to be mentioning every single movie. So I just wrote down what I thought were good movies growing up, and even now. I don't know if they're really going to be in an exact order of importance to me, but maybe the last one probably would be. But all the others, it kind of just trickles down to the number one in my mind anyway, for different reasons. So we'll do that in just a bit.
Yep. Jim, did you want to add anything before we get started?
Only that this is a great idea for a list, so I'm really looking forward to doing this. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
We don't have alcohol, Jim. I'm sorry. We just brought water, although this looks like vodka, so we can use our imagination.
This is also just water. I'm with you.
So a couple things that Rob Megatagged everyone. Everyone is invited to do it. So the more, the merrier. He's also going to have a separate page where people are doing this. We've already done one before, and it was called our Top 10 Disney. So it could have been anything Disney. Also, Jim participated in that. Disneyland Eric, who we also invited, just released his video yesterday. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check that out, he's also as part of that Megatag. And then this one too. So I know Rob recently challenged all of this, and this idea for us to do this today was from Jim. So good idea, Jim. So thank you.
I'm so nervous. I just can't do it.
All right.
Only 10.
So so we kind of switch things around. Maybe Greg will start his number 1.
Oh, sure.
Or 10.
No, I'm starting
10.
from 10 going down to 1.
And then we'll do Jim, and then we'll come to me. So does that sound fair, you guys?
Steve's World ended up with
Sounds
37. But yes, that sounds good. Well, Jim might want to go first, since he's...
Did you want to go first,
He's
Jim?
our big guest on the show.
I can give my number 10 first, and we can switch it up if you like. So I guess I'll just go. And when I was making this list, I surprised myself. I didn't think my final list would look like it does. I'll just say most of it's live action. My number 10 one, I guess I shouldn't take too long on any of these if we're going to talk about 30 movies here, but number 10, I really wanted something I grew up with, and what came to mind was this movie called Candle Shoe. Are you guys familiar with that?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Candle Shoe stars a young Jodie Foster, has David Niven in it, Helen Hayes in her final movie role, I think. But Jodie Foster is this grifter, And I haven't seen this movie in 30 years, but I always think fondly of it. But Jodie Foster is this grifter, and she and this older guy that she's grifting with are trying to get this treasure out of Helen Hayes's house. So she's posing as Helen Hayes's long-lost granddaughter or something. I really don't remember. But and I don't want to spoil anything in case anybody's ever interested in seeing this movie, but it was on all the time when my family first got cable, so I saw it a lot. And what I liked about it was this treasure hunt. It was this con game going on. It starred a lot of kids because, if I remember correctly, this mansion that Helen Hayes lived in housed all these orphan children or something. I really need to see it again, I guess. But when I was a kid, this was a really cool movie. It was a treasure hunt, so I always think fondly of it.
Do you own it?
I do not own it, and I haven't seen it since the 80s. It's been a long time, but I think about it every once in a while. And Candle Shoe, one word.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
I've never heard of that one. It sounds familiar, especially with Helen Hayes in there.
Well, Jodie Foster, I think she started out with all the Disney movies and then just kind of veered off from that. Kind of like what all these other child stars are doing on a Disney Channel, and then moving up to all these more adultish movies and stuff.
Yeah, she was in the original Freaky Friday as well.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Welcome, Destination Storm. They just joined us.
That would be an honorable mention for me. I liked the one with Jamie Lee Curtis.
They also asked, what about Something Wicked Comes This Way? Was that Disney?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen that.
Huh. Bob and Ashley said Song of the South just popped up on a movie site we watch. Awesome.
I really think that they need to put that on Blu-ray for once. It's been years. We have it on DVD.
Well, who knows? It might be on our list today that we can talk about it.
Made it, but it
We'll
could
just
be
wait on that one.
Yeah, but they should put it on Blu-ray.
All right. So, Greg, you're number 10, possibly number 10, maybe number 10. I don't know if it's 10.
I'd probably keep it as 10, but I don't know. I was thinking of all the things that I grew up with watching. Even being a little boy, it doesn't matter. You watch all kinds of different Disney movies. But I said Cinderella, the cartoon version of Cinderella. I have a sister and then 2 brothers, and growing up with them, all of us, for the most part, watch Disney movies. So,
what was it? I'm sorry?
The cartoon version of Cinderella.
Oh, okay. The 1955 version or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I just thought it was funny at times. I love the lady that did the voice of the Wicked Stepmother. She also did the voice of my other favorite, my very favorite villain, Maleficent. She has a very unique voice. She was also the voice, I think, in the Haunted Mansion as Madame Leota at one point, and now her daughter, I think, took over. So, but Cinderella I would say would be my number 10. So
awesome. Well, I like props, so let me prop mine up.
He pulled all the videos out.
And I agree, Jim. I had a list of I don't know, it was 25 that didn't make it onto my list. So it is very hard. And some of the ones I chose, I'm actually surprised I didn't choose other ones on my list because I actually watched those movies more. But I think these are probably my top 10. So of one of the newer movies, we have Big Hero 6. A lot of Disney movies recently I've kind of gone into okay, I'll go see it. I'm not really excited about it. But this movie blew me away. I came out of that wow, that was awesome. Baymax is one of my favorite characters, but very, very good movie. I'm not sure if it's my number 10. I know my top 3 on this list, but I'm going to say this is my number 10 movie, Big Hero 6.
That's a good one. I enjoyed that very much. Baymax is voiced by Scott Adsit from 30 Rock, if you ever seen that show.
I've heard of it, but I don't know if I've heard of that.
We
hey,
just like the fa la 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 thing.
yeah. So Tweety, welcome back. She just came back from a cruise, so welcome.
Hey, so Tweety,
And
welcome.
our Disney Adventures, Ohana. Thanks for joining us.
Ohana like Stitch.
All right, Jim, you're number 9.
My number 9 is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, this is, it's not the longest movie in the world, but I think what I enjoy most about it is the amount of work that goes into creating a stop-motion animation movie. Yeah. It is unbelievable. It takes so long just to make 1 minute of stop-motion animation movie. It's unbelievable. Every second of a movie has 24 frames in it. Yes. So, and with a stop motion animation feature, they're taking 1 picture at a time. They got to move everything, take a picture of it, move it again, take a picture of it. So for every second of movie, you're seeing 24 different pictures, and it's just so innovative and creative and unique. It's just it's a wonder of movie making.
I agree. I'm not a big fan of that movie. I know he loves it.
I totally forgot about that.
I think the uniqueness of the stop motion is really cool.
Yeah.
That I give
I have
them
books on it too.
And if I may, I forgot to mention, it really has the theme song of Halloween. There aren't a ton of Halloween songs, but This Is Halloween has become the unofficial theme of the holiday.
Yep.
I completely agree.
It's awesome. I love the intro. That's like probably the best part of the movie, I think.
I agree.
When they do the at Disneyland, the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
When they do the makeover of that, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, you're number 9.
I like the spiral snow mountain. Well, I'm gonna have to steal Jim's because that should have been on my list also. So, but it's not. So I'll just go down my list here. I'm not sure if this would be number 9, but it would be somewhere on the list. I was just trying to think of where to put things. But for number 9, I have Beauty and the Beast, the cartoon version. I saw that movie with my dad in the theater, and it's been one of my all-time favorites from when I was a kid. Remember the toys that came out and everything, just the nostalgia of it. And even the live action, I can kind of say both of those go together. I will say both of those I like. So those are both on my list as one mashed up title, I guess, Beauty and the Beast. So it was really cool when I was younger. And even now watching it, it still stands the test of time. I would probably say the cartoon is better than the live action still, but I like both of them.
That's a very good one. All right, my number 9 is Hocus Pocus. So
I was thinking of that too.
This movie is probably in my top 10 because when the movie came out, I was working. I just started at a movie theater, and it was in the summer. And I remember this was playing, and also Sleepless in Seattle. And I went. On my breaks, I would go in there and watch this movie all the time. So you have that nostalgia factor of it. Plus, it's one of the movies I watch constantly on my iPad. I fall asleep with it. But I just think it's a good, fun Disney movie. And some people who've never seen it that watch it, they were like thinking, well, what's so good about it? But it's to me, a fun little story. It's almost like a Christmas story.
It's a perfect Halloween movie.
Yeah, it's a perfect Halloween movie. So
24 hours of it on Halloween.
I would say for me, this is a must, the Hocus Pocus.
And just to add to that, I did buy the book that they have where it has the original and the sequel. The original story actually has a lot more detail than the movie, so it was kind of disturbing the way that they, detailed some of this stuff. It was almost like reading the movie and having the movie in your mind. Now I'm on the sequel, which is a little interesting. So I wish they would make that into a movie with the original cast, but it probably isn't going to happen. So
we also had Tracy Dunlap who came in. So thank you, Tracy, for jumping in. And some of the other questions. Rob said not a huge fan as well, but a good pick. That's related to, I believe, the I'm not sure which one was related. We might have gone a little bit too far.
my Stitch years are up there, and sorry.
Kyle's vlog has joined us. I don't remember him coming in earlier, so welcome. What did I just switched to another show. All right, so Jim, what is your number 8? And so if you guys are just joining us, what we're doing is a Megatag from RobFuz, and it is our top 10 Disney movies. We've already counted down 2 of them, so we're working our way down. We are now at number 8. So Jim, for more sunshine, please. What is your number 8 pick?
It's so funny you just mentioned, Derek, working in a movie theater and watching Hocus Pocus, because my number 8, when I was in college, I worked at a movie theater, and my number 8 is Aladdin. And it was released when I worked at the movie theater, and I must have seen it 50 times while I was there. You know, bits and pieces, but I think when you piece it all together, I've watched it 50 times. But it's so funny, and Robin Williams, of course, was able to ad-lib, and they animated to that, and it's a good story. The songs are really good, so for me, number 8 is Aladdin. So it was interesting. We both had these movies where we grew to love them working at a movie theater.
Yeah. I did not know that about you. Greg, I know you're texting, but what is your number 8 pick?
Number 8. We have a live action version, or live action.
Whoa.
What are you doing?
I'm falling.
There you go, Jen. There's your moment. So mine is, I could have used that prop. Thanks a lot.
Snooze.
My snooze. Mine is Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. And I have fallen asleep to this movie many times, not on purpose. Yes, when I would, go to bed at night, it would be put on, and then I would fall asleep to it. But purposely watching it, no, I would not fall asleep to it. But I like the long version, the full, complete version, where it's like a 5-minute song of, I don't remember the song now, but I think they were, it was at the war part where all the clothes and stuff were, they looked like invisible people, but they were all fighting and everything. Do you remember the song? No, it was like a long, or there's that, and then there's Portobello Road. That was the long version of that song.
Like a 10-minute song.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like Mary Poppins and kind of like Roger Rabbit, where it's live action and cartoons, but it has Angela Lansbury in it, and it's a unique movie, and it's not really like Mary Poppins as far as the storyline. I mean, they're both kind of witches, but
it came out after Mary Poppins.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was them trying to recreate a Mary Poppins-like story.
But it was really different. I liked it. So it's just one of those Disney classics that hold the test of time again. So
there you go. All right. So we had, for my number 8, it's already been spoken to. Mine is that upside down? No, it isn't.
No.
Beauty and the Beast. And this is possibly a surprise for me to put it on my list, but I just throw it on the ground. But to me, it's a lot of memories. One, I think of like at Disney, and they have the restaurant at Walt Disney World, which is Beauty and the Beast theme, and I think that is awesome. My mom and I, though, that was one of her favorite movies, animated movies, and she's not a big Disney fan, so that kind of makes it more special for me. And it was a really well done animated feature, and so I have to include that on my list, and that is my number 8. Let's get caught up on some comments real quick. Our Disney Adventures, Aladdin is awesome. Destination Storm, I missed the Aladdin, which is the show at California Adventure. I agree, that was an awesome show. We love that. we're California boys. We're not too far from it, maybe 5 hours. And definitely we were disappointed when Aladdin, and it hung on for a little bit because they were canceling it. And then they decided to, it had to finally go away.
Not sure about 5 hours. That's the way I drive sometimes, depending on traffic.
All right. We are now moving on to number 7 in the RobFuz Megatag, top 10 Disney movies.
Before I mention my number 7, just a little bit about Beauty and the Beast. This week is National French Week. And for those that don't know, I am a high school television production teacher. And one of the French teachers in my school asked me to play some French music during our morning show. And what I ended up doing is I found a French version of the song Be Our Guest on YouTube. Disney has a French channel on YouTube. It's Disney FR. So if you YouTube that, you'll find a bunch of different French versions of these songs, of popular Disney songs. So it was between Be Our Guest and Hakuna Matata for me. I went with Be Our Guest because, French. But it's very interesting. It's the same animation that you love from the movie with French lyrics. So that's very interesting. So my number 7 is the movie Miracle. This stars Kurt Russell, and it's the story of the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, which is a great story on its own, but Kurt Russell's so good in this movie. He plays Herb Brooks, the coach. He's got this Minnesota accent going, and he's very good. You forget how good of an actor Kurt Russell is. You take him for granted, but he's so good playing this hard-nosed hockey coach in this movie. And I think most of the actors posing as the hockey players were actual hockey players. They weren't primarily actors. And they just put together this really rousing, feel-good story. So Miracle, my number 7.
Awesome. That is, I really love that one. Also, I was alive during those Olympics, so that was very true and dear to my heart. I remember just from my perspective, what was going on in real life, and then watching it. That was an awesome movie. I love that.
I was a little kid as well when that happened, and I don't know if you know this or not, but ABC, who was carrying the Olympics at that time, did not show that USA-USSR game live. They showed it on replay. So a lot of people already knew the outcome before they saw it on TV.
I don't remember that. Yeah,
I don't know if I've seen that movie. If I did,
it
was a while back.
Yeah, we saw it. All right, Greg, you're number 7. Is it number 7 or number 8?
Number 7.
Number 7. Okay, so mine was already said as well, but mine is Aladdin. And so I almost was going to put 3 of the ones that kind of were out back to back to back, kind of like in that early 90s part of the decade, but I didn't. So, but Aladdin, I love that movie, and I know that they're going to have a live action. I don't know if my hopes are very high on that right now. I've only seen the teaser trailer, and I'm not too keen on the actors. I know that they're not very well known from what I've seen, but it almost seemed like they were rushing to find actors and kind of throw the movie together. So I hope they took their time more. But as far as the cartoon version, Robin Williams was awesome, like you said, Jim. And no one can replace him. I hope Will Smith does the genie justice. But I do remember seeing it in a theater, and the car was packed. I was little, and it was on a base, and I don't think I had an ID card, so they had to sneak me in by me ducking way under in the seats just to get me through the gate. And I just remember looking up and seeing the lights going by. But we got into the theater, and everything was okay. So. But I do remember seeing that movie in the theater. What is so funny? So, but yes, that is a very good movie, I will say.
All right.
They didn't actually stuff me in the car. I mean, I was just down by their feet, so no mental pictures of that.
All right. This one's already been discussed. I think you looked at my list.
Not really.
My
But I
number
figured.
7 is Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I mean, Greg already talked a little bit about this. If you want to know, if you've never seen this movie, all you need to do is watch the introduction, because there's a cartoon that plays like with the credits, and then it actually tells you everything that's going to go on in the movie. So I don't know why they did that, but I kind of laugh when I see that at the beginning. But it's in England back in during the war, and I just think it's a part of this, my home country, England. But I actually like this better than Mary Poppins. I was never really a big Mary Poppins fan, although I am excited to see the return of Mary Poppins. Not that I didn't dislike Mary Poppins, she was a little bit too snooty.
Not that you didn't dislike her. You mean that you did dislike her?
Yeah. But I like Angela Lansbury. But I just like the story better for Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I know it wasn't as successful as Mary Poppins, but to me that I liked it a lot better.
So I have to say, welcome, Traveling with Bruce. Bruce is on our show from Creston, British Columbia. And everyone's talking about the great stuff and Beauty and the Beast and just having a good time with their conversations here.
Thank you, Bruce, and congratulations on your 5,000 subscribers. He just recently
that's awesome.
went over 5,000, so awesome. You deserve that.
That's a celebration.
Definitely.
So that was our number 7.
We are now looking at number 6. So what we're doing again, if you guys have just joined us, I think I said it wrong from Rob's comments, but we are doing a RobFuz hashtag Megatag Top 10 Disney movies. I think I said it right. Maybe I don't need a hashtag, just the Megatag. All right, Jim, what is your number 6?
Number 6, yes. My number 6 is the most recent version of The Lone Ranger, the one with Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer. And this is directed by Gore Verbinski, who directed most of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And it's a nonlinear story. It starts out in one year, but picks up in years past. And it's a different Disney movie. It gets dark, and very dark in some places. The villain is really mean and brutal. But I enjoy this movie, and I know it didn't get great reviews or wasn't as very successful at the box office, but I just enjoy this movie. I thought, it's hard to make a cowboy movie that's as rousing and as entertaining as like a space movie. An outer space movie, you can do anything with special effects. So, but when you're making a movie that takes place in the 1800s, you're limited with what you can do. And I thought they did a great job with the action sequences on the trains, and I thought Armie Hammer did a good job. He was funny, and his career's starting to really take off now. So number 6 for me is The Lone Ranger.
Very good.
We haven't seen that one yet.
I saw it. I don't know where I saw it, but I saw it.
Yeah, and I know with Johnny Depp, I know you mentioned Pirates, and I guess it's been confirmed that he's no longer in the Pirates movies. So
I heard that. Yeah,
I don't feel too good about that. If they decided to make another one, well, I guess they are. I don't know what direction they're going to go to. Somebody said that they should do a movie, I guess, with the redhead in it. So because they want a woman as the male lead, which is fine. And the only person I can think of is make a story around the redhead from the movie or from the ride. So we'll see how that goes.
That just makes sense. At least a little cameo or something.
Yeah, I think they tied maybe some loose ends with him on the last one. He kind of just went off into the sunset, from what I remember. So maybe they don't need to do anything with him. I don't know, but he's with the Harry Potter series now, so hopefully he does well with that. But my number 6 is, we just recently watched this a couple days ago, is The Lion King, Hakuna Matata. And so by the looks of your face, I already know what you're thinking. But yes, that is one of my all-time favorite movies. I saw that in the theater with my mom and dad. And every time I see it, no matter what, I really can't look at the scene where Scar just throws the father off the cliff. I have to turn away. I've seen it a couple times, but it still gets to me. And I was watching it, and even after Simba goes up to him after everything happened, that still chokes me up to this day. So it's a very good movie. I was pointing out things that I saw in. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I was pointing out to Derek things that I noticed as an adult that you wouldn't really think of as a child. And I was just kind of like picking apart the movie. But I just thought, I'm just gonna go with it. It's a classic for Disney, and I just think throughout the movie there were so many times where Scar kind of just did what he wanted to do. It took him till the end to try and do it, but it was a good movie. So
my number 6 is Lion King.
I swear I didn't know. You didn't get the good version of the
I just grabbed
Blu-ray.
it. I don't even remember. I only had like 5 minutes to get everything collected when we got home. The beginning of Lion King is awesome. The way the animals are drawn, and then it culminates with young Simba being raised up in the sky, and all of a sudden, boom, the Lion King pops up. That to me is like one of the best intros that Disney has done, and it still, when we watched it the other day, it's like your jaws drop just because you're like drawn into it. And my brother tore that movie apart. That was that could have been my number 1 movie on the list.
You can't let someone else influence
I know, but
you.
my brother just ripped it apart, saying they copied it from a movie from Japan and blah blah
I think
blah.
it was
And
original
my family
story.
didn't like it, and it just kind of like took that away. And then we watched it again, and it really brought back. I mean, I love The Lion King, and it is a good story. The animation is awesome, and I
It was really vibrant on Blu-ray when we saw
yeah,
it.
it is good. So that is my number 6. Is The Lion King.
Very cool.
Yes. Let's get caught up on some of our questions in chat.
So everybody went in an uproar when we talked about pirates. They want Johnny back. They want Johnny Depp back, and I agree. But
to me, it's not the pirates without
no,
Johnny
it's
Depp.
not. They should just leave it alone now if they're not going to have him in it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if I would even go see it without him, even if they have some of the originals. I think they just kind of not ambushed him, but just for certain reasons that are more from a person's private life that shouldn't go against them being in a movie or whatever.
That's what Bob and Ashley was saying because of the relationship. And Cargo's joined us. Welcome, Cargo. Thank you for joining us.
She's been on here a while. You didn't see her.
Hi, Cargo.
But
Welcome back.
Welcome.
We have Jim. We are up to number what?
Number 5.
Number 5.
Jim is our special guest, you were trying to say?
No, he's doing a better job knowing what number we are
than
I am.
Veered off or something there.
All right, Jim. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is if I can put two movies into one.
I did.
I'm going to choose the Incredibles and the Incredibles 2. My favorite Pixar movie. I don't know why it took so long to make a sequel to The Incredibles, but I'm glad they finally did. It's just Brad Bird wrote, directed, produced this movie, and it's just a fun story. I like how it's retro yet futuristic. It's fun watching the heroes grow into their powers, especially the kids when they kind of come of age as being supers. So it's fun to discover what they can do. I thought the villain syndrome in the first one was a lot of fun. It's just The Incredibles and Incredibles 2 are just great movies. So they're number 5 on my list.
That was one of the videos that I was surprised I didn't put on my list, because I came away from that. I came away with that movie too, not really like too excited to go see it. And when I came away from that, I was like, wow, that was awesome. I didn't want the movie to end. So that's a great movie.
You did that with a couple of movies when I recommend them, and you'd say, "Oh, I don't want to watch them," and then you go see them, and you're like blown away. Like the Greatest Showman. I went and saw that by myself, and I was kicking myself in the butt because I went and saw it, and I knew you would love it, and I dragged you to see it, and you ended up loving it. So. A very good movie. Not Disney, but it's still a great movie.
RobFuz said I should have done 3 or 4 different Megatags: modern, animated, classic live action, modern live action. Yeah,
you should do that.
That is because there's so many good movies to choose from. It's really hard to keep it down to 10. Okay, Greg, what is your number 5?
Some of these might be on those other lists if we do these.
We just had 2 people join us. Belle Southern, welcome, Belle. And Sandra D's Adventures, welcome.
Awesome.
She's always out all over the place.
Yeah, RobFuz, you should actually do that. Kind of make categories, and then we'll do separate videos or something, because there's way too many movies, and even the ones we're saying now might be on those lists too. But my number 5 is the movie Enchanted, and when I was making the list, it just popped into my mind. There's special moments in that movie. I liked how I remember the trailer, they were showing different parts of the movie, and then they showed different parts of the animated movies where they kind of got the idea to have them in the live action, like with the dragon. Then they showed the Sleeping Beauty dragon up on the pillar of the castle. So they would just show different parts of the movie and then compare them to the cartoon versions that they were taking them from. But I thought the story was awesome. And then they're supposed to do a sequel. They've been working on a sequel for almost 10 years now. So hopefully they make it, because Amy Adams is getting older. She's still pretty, and all the other actors, they're still they still look the same from the original. So I think they should get that done pretty soon. But that was a really good movie, in my opinion.
It's got one of the best Disney songs on there. I'm trying to think of what the name of it is.
I think it's called So Close.
Yeah, So Close. Yeah. I like to sing that song. That's a good song.
It was a cool movie.
That movie is an honorable mention on my list. And if Amy Adams isn't in the sequel to that, perhaps she can play the redhead in the next Pirates movie.
I thought that, but she is supposed to be in it. The original cast is supposed to be there, although I don't know about Susan Sarandon, but we'll see if, who the villain is.
And Jordan, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
and Jordan is our friend from Australia.
It's really
part of the TWB family, which is Traveling with Bruce. If you guys hear us talk about him, he's still on with us. So thank you, Bruce.
Awesome.
His question was, he thinks, I saw it up here, he thinks The Incredibles was written as a cartoon movie made by adults for adults in disguise for kids. Loved it too. Yeah, I completely agree. It's so like live action. It's awesome. All right, so my number 5 is, and this is one of the movies Greg talks about that I didn't want to go see, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's hard to know Johnny Depp. He nailed that character.
He was born for that character.
In any movie he's in, I'm always watching him, his mannerisms, and there's like so many questions, like what kind of character is he? And he's awesome. He's awesome in that role. We like rum. So Johnny Depp, rum. What could be better?
Why is the rum gone?
Yeah. So his movies are fun. I like some of them are. I didn't like the third one as much. That's probably the only one I really didn't care for. I think they slowed down the pacing of the movie, but we'll just stick with the first one. And Pirates of the Caribbean is my number 5 movie.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the theater, so I didn't put that, but that would be an honorable mention.
Cargo said Captain Jack is my next husband. All right, so we are now on to number 4. So if you guys are just joining us, we are doing the top 10 Disney. This is from our friend RobFuz, who did a Megatag for all of us fans out there. You guys are welcome to do it yourself. And put yourself with RobFuz Megatag, because he's going to put all that in a list so people can go and watch those videos. But it is really fun. It's really hard to come out with our top 10 videos. So Jim, we are now on my lucky number 4.
Number 4 for me is National Treasure. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but there's something about the treasure hunt, the scavenger hunt. If you remember my number 10 movie, Candle Shoe, was kind of like that. National Treasure, for me, is so fun. And it might not be historically perfect, but it's just a fun, inventive movie. Nicolas Cage can be crazy at times, but in this movie, he's all right. It's just, I don't know. I'm not going to make excuses. I just like it. And it was extremely popular. They made a sequel to it. So that's my number 4, National Treasure.
They were talking about a third one, but I thought I read where they weren't going to do a third one just because the other 2 didn't do that well. I mean, if you make 2, you should have at least one more just to kind of close the story, but hopefully it'll happen.
I liked it. I like it how they mixed the tail in with history.
Both of them.
Yeah, with history. I thought that was really cool. I enjoyed both those movies. I really liked a lot.
I think we'll have the first one here.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
What is your number 4, Greg?
Mine is, I love this movie. I love the music, and it's so colorful. But it is Finding Nemo. Ever since I saw that movie in a theater, I love the ocean life. It reminds me of cruising, of going scuba diving. The music alone, I could just sit in a room and listen to all day. Kind of like Harry Potter. When you go to Harry Potter Land, you can just sit on a bench, listen to the music all day, and be completely content. I love the story, and I like Finding Dory also, but it's just not the same as Finding Nemo. Very colorful, very vibrant, and it looks so real. It doesn't even look like a computerized movie. Derek and I were watching Finding Dory a while back, and we both said it looks so real. It was awesome. So Finding Nemo for me is one of my all-time favorites.
Welcome, Arjons. We have a visit from Disney legend Arjons.
Yes.
So welcome thank you for joining our show tonight. I'm going to switch it up. So I'm going to say this movie is my number 4, Bambi.
I was thinking of that too.
And I just love the animation of it. I love the history behind it, how they brought in animals, and they, especially when you think about where animation was during this time period, and how there was a focus from Disney to use more realism, bringing in live animals to do the drawings on it. And sure, the scene with Bambi's mother is a horrific scene, probably one of the worst besides when Mufasa got killed. But just the story, I love, what is it? Tick, tick, tock, little April showers. Mm-hmm. I just love that. That's probably one of my favorite Disney movies too. So my number 4 is Bambi.
It even has a little book thing that opens, it looks like.
Yep, it is. All right, so we are going on to getting close to top 3. So we're getting on almost to 7 o'clock. So I know we want to get done pretty close to 7. So we have Jim, you're number 3.
All right, number 3. It was hard. I wanted to include a Marvel movie. I want to put them all at number 3, but I guess if I'm going to choose one, I'm going to go Infinity War. These Marvel movies, for the past few years, every one they release is better than the previous one. Captain America, Civil War, you had Ant-Man, Black Panther, then Infinity War. They just get better and better and grander, and I enjoy them so much. I'm not a comic book person, but these movies are so fun and well made. So I put the Marvel movies at number 3, I guess specifically Infinity War.
I'm not a big Marvel. I mean, I like Marvel. I read Marvel comics growing up. I think it's almost overdone. But the Infinity War was wow. And Cargo said no spoilers. So we won't. I definitely wouldn't want to ruin it for anyone. But
it's a culmination of everything we've been waiting for with all these movies from phase 1 and phase 2, and now this is phase 3, I think.
So you definitely want to find out what's going to happen in the next one. So that's a really good choice. Okay, Greg, you're number 3.
Well, and then the next one comes out next year, so that's going to close everything basically. Then the next phase starts. So my number 3, I love this movie also. This is Monsters, Inc. Again, the music alone, I just watch it for the music. I was humming the trumpet sound. I'm surprised you didn't even get it earlier, but
for what? I'm sorry?
Monsters, Inc. At the beginning, where all the doors are opening and closing and people are screaming and stuff, because the kids are screaming when they're going in and out. It's at the beginning, I believe, of the movie. But I love the story. I think it's an original story because I've never heard of a story like that. Although there is a movie called, I think it's called Little Monsters. It's on Netflix with Howie Mandel. That kind of reminds me of a live action version of Monsters, Inc., although that came out years before Monsters, Inc. So I still think this is more of an original story. And then Boo alone is like the cutest little thing I think that they've ever made for a Disney Pixar movie. So I really wish they'd make another one where maybe she's grown up and maybe she has kids. But we'll see. But Monsters, Inc. is my 3rd.
We had This Life of Ours join us, so welcome, guys. They are going to cruise this Friday,
welcome.
Saturday. They are going on
an awesome cruise,
Disney cruise. Yes, a Christmas cruise. And then Bob and Ashley are going on a cruise on Sunday.
Yes.
So that's really exciting.
Cruising all around.
Yes. All right, my number 3, guys, is Pinocchio. I was going to say number 3.
You're holding it up.
Pinocchio is my number 3.
Another moment, Jim.
This I've said this before in our top 10 Disney. The book that I wrote, The Village at the Beginning, really is the atmosphere of what my story, the kind of the world that I created. It's very similar to that, and even though the story is completely different, but I just love the animation of it. When You Wish Upon a Star, to me, is probably my favorite Disney song. It's when Walt Disney died and the cast members met around the castle at the end of the day. They sang When You Wish Upon a Star. When I hear that, when we go to Disneyland, that's the song we play as we are arriving. We turn off the freeway, we play that song. So there's a lot of things that we love about Pinocchio, and just the animation of it is just awesome. So that's my number 3. All right, Jim.
So you're number 2, Jim.
Number 2.
Okay, number 2, and you had mentioned this already. It's a series of movies, Pirates of the Caribbean. But what's funny, Derek, is that you had mentioned, and you're not the only one to mention, that they didn't love number 3 at World's End, and I actually think that's one of the better ones. When I first saw it, I didn't love it, but I watched it again, and then again, and then again. And the more I did, the more I enjoyed it. And I don't know what it is. I think I like the journey to the Davy Jones's locker. I liked all that. I liked I didn't like it at first. The battle in the storm at the end. I don't know what this is, but
the mouse room.
But I just there's so much I like about At World's End. It wrapped up that trilogy. At the time, it was a trilogy. So So the third movie in the first.
Nope. When we lost connection.
We lost Jim.
Jim, are you?
He'll come back on.
Oh, there he is. We lost
All
him.
right. Woo!
It's been one of those nights.
Yes.
Go ahead. You were saying something.
finishing up.
Just I know we want to speed it up. It's either the first Pirates movie or the third one. Those are my two favorites.
Awesome. I didn't welcome Caesar K. So welcome, you guys. If I missed anyone who joined, I do apologize. We're trying our best to keep the show running.
Going back.
We don't want to be long on here, but we don't want to grill you guys too. So if we've missed you guys, we do apologize. Hey, Greg, you're number 2.
So my number 2 is The Little Mermaid. And I know when I was little, I saw this one in the theater with my dad and my sister, I think. And I just thought that movie was all around endearing, funny. I love the chef singing Les Poissons, going after Sebastian. And Ursula is probably my second favorite villain. And then Maleficent would be my first. But I always liked that story, although the actual real story, The Little Mermaid, is not as happy as this version is. So they kind of really Disney-fied it for children. So, but it's very endearing. It's a lot of fun, I think, and it came out at that time. I know in the beginning of the video I was saying in the 90s, the early 90s part. You had Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Little Mermaid, and I think Little Mermaid started it, and then they just went on from there with the animation, kind of like back to back or year to year kind of thing. But Little Mermaid is my second.
It's a good one. All right, we are going to go way back with mine, and we discussed this earlier, but my number 2 is Song of the South. It's a shame this isn't released more. I know there's been a lot of people complaining about it, but Uncle Remus is one of the most endearing characters in all of Disney. And for him not to be out there, I mean, he's one of my favorite characters. His stories, the way he talks, the way he smiles. I love Uncle Remus. And it's an old movie. That one actually, it's not a bootleg, but it's ones that you can buy like at a convention that the people will sell them. So the quality isn't good, but it's a really dated movie. You know you're watching an old movie, but when they switch it into the Brer Rabbit animated sequences, those are awesome and fun. Splash Mountain is one of my favorite rides. So for me, Song of the South, I love. This is one of my favorite movies.
I have to watch that again. It's been a while, so
it's the boy in there is the guy who played Peter Pan, the voice of Peter Pan. But yeah, that's my number 2. So all right, we are ready to go to number 1. Jan, what's your number 1?
Number 1 for me is the movie Tomorrowland with George Clooney and Hugh Laurie. I know. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it at home, but when I did, I just loved it. There's so many Easter eggs, Disney Easter eggs in this movie. This was directed and written again by Brad Bird, creator of The Incredibles, and they recreated the 1964 World's Fair. So George Clooney's character as a little boy hops on It's a Small World at the 1964 World's Fair. So that's very cool to see. Brad Bird's vision of Tomorrowland, or what the future can be, is so stunning. The effects and all of the CGI. Another Easter egg is that in the skyline is a building that looks like Space Mountain. There are little things like that, but it's a story about what the future could be. So it's very inspiring. It's fun, and I couldn't believe it. But as I made my list, this movie just kept going. No, I like this better than Pirates. No, I like this better than Infinity War. Currently, I surprised myself, but that's that's where I stand. No apologies there. Tomorrowland is my number one.
I don't like, what's the, you said it, but I already, my mind, the lead actor was
George Clooney.
Yeah, I'm not a big George Clooney fan.
He was good in that movie,
but
though.
I did like Tomorrowland. I liked the story behind it.
We saw it in the theater.
Movie.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was different. I like the little girl in it and her story at the end.
Bob and Ashley said, I'm partial to Tomorrowland because they filmed some of it in my hometown. So that's cool.
Yep.
Greg, you're number... Wait, what are we at? You're number 2.
one.
Oh, number 1. Number 1.
I almost said I already went number 2, but I already said my number 2.
You already won.
Okay, moving on. So my number 1 is, you've already said it, is Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
And I'm surprised I didn't mention Peter Pan earlier either. I think either you or Jim said something about Peter Pan, but that's one of my all-time favorites also. But Pinocchio, with the music, When You Wish Upon a Star, and Derek, you already mentioned when we go to the, the parks, we play that every time. I don't know if anyone else in the world does that, but it just kind of became something that we do. Even when we had friends go with us, we would just let them know, okay, we're going to play this song. This is what we do. And it's like you're going up the ramp and you turn to the right and you're there and the music's going on. It's kind of like, everything opens up your eyes and it gets more exciting and you see the parks and everything. So it just has a lot of sentimental, value to it and everything. So it's very magical and it's one of the all-time classics of Disney. So Pinocchio, it would be my number 1 in this case, and the ride is awesome also. We had Captain Akron 27. I think you might have been on earlier, but I don't think we gave you a welcome. So welcome. We did. Okay. So hi again. All right. My number 1 movie is Snow White. It being the very first Disney animated feature and really how it changed the industry of animations, going from people it's the first full length feature compared to short animated features, and people were saying that they didn't know if they would show up to see a animated feature, to people walking out of the theater crying with the Seven Dwarves. So this is the movie that started it all. So to me, this has to be the number 1 movie for my choice, just because of it all. It's how it started with a mouse. Well, it started with Snow White and the animated features for the full-length features. So that is our top 10. So there's so many. I mean, there's a new one that I was even thinking about putting it on. It was Christopher Robin movie that just came out. Yeah.
We were floored by it.
Yeah.
We actually did a review on it, but somehow I deleted it. So, but that, if you guys haven't seen Christopher Robin, definitely see it. That was a
that just
really
came
good
out
story.
on Blu-ray yesterday, and also Incredibles 2 came out on Blu-ray. So, did you already get your copy, Jim?
No, not yet, and nor have I seen Christopher Robin. Haven't seen that yet.
That's very endearing, and Tigger being my favorite, that was like the best part of the movie for me. So,
all right. So, I think we're getting ready to pretty much shut it down. It's about 7:09, so we're just a little bit over the hour than we had intended. Thank you guys for watching us. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. If you guys want to do your hashtag, the RobFuz Megatag Top 10 Disney Movies, please do that. Put that in the title. That way we can have all these linked together.
I'd like to watch your videos too.
Definitely. Cool. But I think this is a great idea, Rob. Jim, when we were trying to figure out what we were going to do today, he came up with this idea that we were going to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we had a few rocky moments at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think next time we might have to go live at 6:15 just so we're not rushed and we have a chance to kind of get settled in. I literally got in like quarter till, and by the time I get going, we were ready to come on live. So I think 6:15 will probably be better for us next week.
We need to do different categories because it was just like a mixture. But RobFuz is right. We should do like live action or classic or cartoon.
That'd be fun.
Or just different ones.
Carry this on.
Live action mixed with cartoon. There's not too many out there, but I almost said that as a category. But it's a lot of fun to do this. So, once in a while, I think maybe we should do something like that, or top 10 for different types of movies.
I think that's a good idea. Jim, if you guys have not learned about Jim,
please.
Yep, more sunshine.
Subscribe to him, please.
Yes, he's an awesome guy. He has an awesome channel. If you need to know where those painting machines are at the parks, he has them down. Those are actually fun videos
Have a good night, Blaine.
to watch. So thanks, guys. We are going to be doing a cruise-related video next week. I'm hoping to have another special guest on with us that I've already talked about before.
Have a good night, Cargo.
So it goes through. But other than that, you guys, thank you for joining us. And as Walt Disney
Everybody
says,
have a good night. Thank you.
And as Walt Disney says,
we are just getting started.